Welcome everyone, join us today as we honor the life and legacy of Yvonne Barrett, the vibrant Aussie pop singer, whose rise to fame and heartbreaking fate captivated a generation. So let's dive in. Yvonne Frances Barrett, born in 1946, in Perth, Australia. Born to parents Ted and Sheila, Yvonne had two siblings, Patricia and Peter. Though born in Perth, her family later relocated and settled in Braybrook, Victoria. A bright and talented child, Yvonne showed promise as a performer from a very young age, beginning ballet lessons at just 2.5. By the age of 10, she was already appearing in pantomimes and soon after performed at the prestigious South Street Dance Society competition, in Ballarat, Victoria, an event with over a century of history. In the late 1950s, Yvonne joined the cast of Swallows Juniors, a beloved children's variety show sponsored by the Swallows Biscuit Factory, and broadcast on HSV7. The program served as a forerunner to Young Talent Time, and featured future stars such as Debbie Byrne, Jamie Redfern, and Patty McGrath, who would go on to become Patty Newton, wife of Bert Newton. Yvonne and Patty formed a close friendship that lasted throughout Yvonne's life. In her mid-teens, Yvonne began taking singing lessons, which led her into musical theatre. At just 15, she landed her big break in The Sound of Music, playing Louisa Von Trapp at Melbourne's Princess Theatre in October 1961. The show ran for nearly a year and launched her into further roles in Carnival, Wildcat, and Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. In a 1964 interview with the Australian Women's Weekly, Yvonne shared her ambitions, wanting to perform on Broadway, play the lead in Gypsy, become a musical comedy star, and one day meet her idol, Sammy Davis Jr. Just a month later, Yvonne landed her first big break when she successfully auditioned for Australia's new leading pop music TV program, The Go Show, on the newly launched Channel Zero. She quickly became a regular, appearing over 40 times throughout the show's run, and performing songs like Off and Running, I Walk Alone, and A Lover's Concerto by The Toys. Signing to Go Records, a label spin-off from the show, Yvonne released her version of Tony Hatch's You're the One, originally recorded by Petula Clark. It became her most successful chart hit in October 1965, reaching number 3 in Sydney and number 28 in Melbourne. In December 1965, Yvonne joined television personalities Ian Turpie and Tommy Hanlon Jr., along with singer Pat Carroll, on a government-sponsored Christmas tour to entertain Australian troops stationed in Vietnam and Thailand. It was the first official tour of its kind, following the success of an earlier privately funded visit by Lucky Star and the Rajas. The group arrived in Saigon on the 23rd of December and performed an average of 2 shows a day at 12 different venues until the 1st of January. Their Christmas Day performance was held for the 1st Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment at Bien Hoa. The tour concluded with 3 additional shows at the RAF base in Ubon, Thailand, before the group returned home on the 5th of January. In total, more than 3,800 troops were entertained. Yvonne sang and danced through a 3-song set at each show, and the performers made a point to connect personally with the soldiers afterward, posing for photos, mingling in the sergeants' and officers' messes, and offering much appreciated morale support to the servicemen. Upon her return, Yvonne recorded 2 more singles on the Go label in 1966, Send Her Away, with the B-side, Won't Someone Say, followed by Don't Bother Calling, backed with I'm Taking Him Back. Unfortunately, neither release charted, and by August 1967, The Go Show had ended. Without the support of the program, the Go record label folded shortly afterward. She briefly joined a group called The Trap, which included former members of the Kinetics, but no recordings were made and the band disbanded by the end of 1967. In August 1968, Yvonne and Pat Carroll returned to Vietnam for a second tour, where she was once again warmly received by Australian troops. She was presented with various souvenirs from servicemen and even received a Viet Cong flag during one of the 2 tours, amassing a unique collection of memorabilia. Still in demand, Yvonne was chosen as the support act for Eartha Kitt in 1968. In 1970, she was voted runner-up in the National Go Set magazine pop poll, and released a new one-off single with EMI, in March that year called Lou, a cover of a Laura Nyro song, which showcased her powerful vocals with a brassy jazz rock arrangement, reminiscent of Blood, Sweat and Tears. Though the single didn't chart, her popularity endured through regular appearances on national television shows like Uptight and Happening 70 and 72, where she performed songs such as Always Something There to Remind Me and Rare Earth's Get Ready. Throughout the 1970s, Yvonne focused on club performances and session work, touring extensively across Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, and regional areas. She was a familiar face on variety programs like Mary Hardy's Penthouse Club on HSV7, The Graham Kennedy Show, and The Ernie Sigley Show. Her final recording came in 1972 with Albert Productions, run by Harry Vanda and George Young, with No Longer Part of Your Life, written by British songwriter Simon Napier Bell. By the 1980s, Avons' career had largely wound down. She returned to Perth for a time, where she met former Vietnam War veteran, Hoang Van Trong, at a nightclub. The two married in 1983, but the relationship was volatile and short-lived. They divorced within a year, and Yvonne relocated to Sydney, settling in the suburb of Birchgrove where she rented a flat and worked as a waitress. Although separated, Yvonne remained in occasional contact with Trong, who spent time living in New Zealand. In 1985, after returning to Australia, he stayed overnight at her Birchgrove flat. Tragically, on September 2, 1985, Yvonne's life was taken by Trong. He struck her over the head with an empty wine bottle, fracturing her skull, and then strangled her with his belt following an argument, when she had asked him to leave. Her body was discovered the following day on the 3rd of September. He had tried to take his own life but was unsuccessful. In court, Trong, who had a gambling addiction, claimed diminished responsibility due to using marijuana that evening, and post-war trauma. He also alleged that Yvonne struggled with prescription drug and marijuana dependence. Despite his defense, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole in 1986, but was controversially released in 1995 and subsequently vanished from public view. Yvonne's body was returned home to Braybrook, Victoria. Her funeral was held at Christ the King Catholic Church, and she was laid to rest at Altona Memorial Park. Close friends Bert and Paddy Newton attended the service, with Paddy later publishing a heartfelt memorial tribute, remembering Yvonne as a wonderful person and dear friend. And there you have it. Though Yvonne is no longer with us, her voice, energy, and impact on Australian pop culture live on. From child star to go show favourite, Yvonne Barrett's story is one of talent, resilience, and ultimately, tragedy. Gone, but never forgotten. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on your favorite music icons, just like this. Take care and bye for now.